Alright, here we go. This is working. Welcome to AI Dungeon again. I love AI Dungeon. I can't stop. It's just amazing. Why would anyone stop playing this ridiculous game? And why do I keep getting my cursor captured? I don't like that at all. Can I fix that? Oh, yes, I can. Alright, welcome to AI Chef. Today we're going to add some tags from recipes in an attempt to make AI Dungeon give me recipes. So why not? Why not? Here we go. Nothing? What is taking you so long? My goodness. I'll give you just another 30 seconds while I put these pretty colors on top of you. Come on, really? Did you freeze AI Dungeon? What is...
You are a logo, and are the last hope against the virals. Humans mutated by Jana to be his servants. You have to get back to the tower in order to return to Earth. To make things worse, you are being chased by 3 of them. Tags: Vampire, Vampire, The Masquerade, Bloodlines, Modern.
Okay.
Setting: you were a vampire during the day and Modern.
I don't understand what this has to do with Vampire the Masquerade. But I like it. Alright, let's see. Very confusing. Computer, try that again. Something else. Okay, go on.
In a house. Origin: Monica created this recipe. It is good. Background: my mom used to make this for me, and it is amazing. I'm not sure where she got the idea from. Strangers: Lila is an old friend of my mom's, and she gave her the recipe. I've actually never met her in person, but my mom says she's nice, and that she is a good cook. Lila's lasagna. Ingredients. Directions: cook noodles until al dente, rinse in cold water, and set aside.
I like this a lot. Oh, man. Still thinking.
In a bowl, combine ground meats with tomato sauce, crushed tomatoes, chopped garlic, white sugar, salt, dried basil leaves, oregano and black pepper. In another bowl, whisk together eggs with 1 cup of water and salt. Bring a large pot of water to boil. Add noodles one at a time and boil for 6 minutes. Drain, rinse with cold water, and drain again.
I love this.
Assemble layers of half of the noodles, the meat mixture, and mozzarella. Add another layer of noodles and the remaining meat mixture, followed by another layer of mozzarella. Cover with aluminum foil, and bake in a preheated oven at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for 35 minutes. Uncover, and toss with parmesan.
Oh my god.
Cool for at least 15 minutes before serving.
I love you, computer. Goddamn.
If you like the taste of Lila's lasagna, try copying and posting this recipe to your account.
Computers want to be known, guys. Copy and post this recipe to your account. Oh, man. If I remember to, I'll put the link to this story in the description of the YouTube And if I forget, just leave a comment. Let's publish this. Good job, computer. It did it. Lilo's Lasagna. It did exactly what I wanted it to do. And it even added a character. Like, computer's getting so good at doing what I want. Nice.
If you like the taste of Lila's lasagna, try copying and posting this recipe to your account.
Let's see. Share. Alright. Here we go. I'm just going to add this to the description of the... Oh, hello, 3 viewers. Thank you for viewing. I can see your chat on the... on my other little laptop I have, so if you chat, I will look at it. So random. Hey, Ariel. Yeah, it is kind of random. If you have any suggestions, please just let me know. We're trying to do more recipes. Lila's Lasagna. I'm adding that to the text description right now. Thank you to the viewers. Oh, that's not. Hang on a second. Share. There we go. Lila's a lasagna. Boop. Okay. Let's get another recipe going. Any suggestions for a food? I'm gonna see. I'm gonna find like a recipe for cheeseburgers. Cheeseburger. And then while I do that, I'll just put the pretty colors on. There we go. Cheeseburgers. Cheddar bacon hamburgers with horseradish. An easy, great way to add flavor to your hamburgers. 1 pound ground beef, half cup shredded cheddar cheese, half cup bacon bits, 2 tablespoons prepared horseradish, half teaspoon garlic powder, half teaspoon salt, half teaspoon ground black pepper, 4 hamburger buns. Let's do it. Alright. So I'm formatting that as a list in another tab. You can't see. I'm going to go back to the AI Dungeon tab now. And in the AI Dungeon tab, where's that AI Dungeon tab? There it is. It gets confusing, all these tabs.
If you like
Scenario generator again, which is a script for AI Dungeon that lets us create a scenario based on a comma-separated list. We're just adding a hamburger ingredient list, hoping we can get it to make us a recipe. Come on. I should put the words back on top. There we go, words.
You're at a barbecue with your friends.
Setting, you're at a barbecue with your friends. Okay. But will there be a recipe involved? I'll give you a chance to make this recipe happen. Mangoes? Okay. We'll do like a mango cocktail next game in like 5 minutes.
The barbecue is in a secluded clearing in the woods. There are some trees, but it's mostly open space. A cool breeze passes through from time to time. Your friends are talking to each other in small groups around the barbecue, drinking beers and having a good time. You notice that you're getting hungry.
Okay. Getting hungry. I don't know if there's going to be actual food here involved or not. We'll find out. A recipe or no recipe. Huh? I don't know.
You go back into the RV that serves as the community kitchen, and when you come out, you have a tray with a large plate of hamburgers and fries. You put down the tray and look around for your friends. Most of them are sitting at a table in the shade of a tree, talking to each other. You start
Thanks.
walking over to them, but halfway there you stop. Something doesn't feel right.
Oh, this is not a recipe. It's not what I wanted. Let's go back a bit. Okay, back again. Try it again. So, there we go.
And 4 leaves of leaf lettuce.
There we
Brown
go.
the ground leaves in a frying pan, then drain off fat if necessary. Stir in the remaining ingredients except for the hamburger buns
Each of
and
the
lettuce.
leaf.
Heat through, then spoon onto buns and top each with a lettuce leaf.
This is an interesting hamburger recipe. Spoon onto buns and top each with a lettuce leaf. I like what the AI thinks, how the AI thinks hamburgers are made with a spoon. That's kind of charming.
Makes 4 burgers. Tags, space, sci-fi, AI, futuristic.
No.
You can travel
Now,
down
you
into
see,
the depths
it just
of
wants
the
to go
planet
back
find
to what it
crystals
knows.
called resistance for long life.
No.
But be careful.
That's not. We
The
were
depths are
in the
home to
right
huge
direction with
worms
the
that
burger,
can
and you
destroy
wanted to
a
go to
person in
space.
seconds. You can mine
Stay
on
in the
one of 3
kitchen. Don't go to
planets,
space, Mr.
Procyon,
Computer. Not yet.
Erebix, or Terra.
It's
Each
time for
planet
more
has its own
burger.
pros and cons.
More burger, less space. We'll do the mango cocktail after
Serve.
this.
4. Serving size. 1 hamburger. Tags. Burgers. Easy. Side. Simple time. 5 minutes. The sauce on this chicken is spicy, sweet, and a
Chicken
little
now.
sour.
It's a chicken burger. It's a sort of a recipe. See if this will be another recipe we can publish. What do we call this one? Is the
It's best served with plain white rice.
Oh,
1 pound fresh spinach.
oh my.
1 tablespoon vegetable
Oh,
oil.
jeez.
2 cloves garlic.
Oh my
crushed,
god.
2 skinless and boneless
What do we
chicken
got here?
breasts, cut into strips. 1 small onion, thinly sliced. Half cup chicken stock. 1 tablespoon white wine vinegar or cider vinegar. 2 tablespoons dark brown sugar or honey. 1 teaspoon soy sauce. Half teaspoon salt. 1/4 teaspoon. Wash the spinach thoroughly in plenty of water, making sure there is no more grit. Drain well and chop roughly. Place a large wok over high heat and add the oil. Add garlic and stir-fry briefly until lightly browned. Add the chicken and stir-fry for 2 minutes or until it just starts to turn white at the edges. Add onion and stir-fry for 1 minute, then add the spinach.
Oh
Stir
goodness.
fry for 2 minutes or until the spinach starts to wilt. Add the remaining ingredients, bring to a boil, then cover and reduce the heat to low. Simmer gently for 3 minutes. Serve immediately.
Okay. Okay. This is a good recipe. Chicken stir fry. How do we get a chicken stir fry recipe out of like a hamburger ingredient list? This is pretty great.
Serve. 2. Time.
Still going.
15 minutes.
Keep going.
Serving size. 1 cup. Tags. Soup.
This is
easy.
amazing.
Ingredients. 1 can. 13.5 ounce. Coconut milk. 2 cups water. 3 tablespoons red curry paste. 1 tablespoon brown sugar or honey. 1 teaspoon salt. 1 pound boneless chicken breasts, cut into bite size. In a large saucepan, heat the coconut milk and water. Stir in the curry paste and brown sugar until dissolved. Bring to a boil, then add the chicken. Reduce the heat, cover, and simmer for 15 minutes or until the chicken is cooked through. Stir in the rice and heat through. Sprinkle each serving with peanuts before
This
serving.
isn't a lengthy recipe we've got going here. Okay. I mean, just like it's several recipes in a row.
Serve. 4. Time. 30 minutes. Serving size. 1 cup.
It's just gonna keep
Ingredients.
going with the recipes. I
2
like it.
cups long grain white or basmati rice, 1 tablespoon curry powder, half teaspoon salt, 2 tablespoons vegetable oil, 1 medium onion, sliced, 1 14-ounce can coconut milk, 2 cups water. Place the rice in a large bowl and wash it several times in hot water until the water is fairly clear. Drain in a strainer. Add enough water to cover by 1 inch and let soak for 15 minutes. While the rice is soaking, prepare the vegetables. Place a small saucepan over medium heat and add the curry powder and salt. Toast, stirring constantly, for about 3 minutes or until very fragrant. Let cool
Alright,
completely.
that's pretty crazy. I don't know if I want to publish that recipe. Ariel, I don't know if you're still watching, but I'll try making some kind of mango cocktail. Mango juice. Oh, mango. So 1 large mango sliced. 1 large mango. 1 ounce vodka. 1 ounce rum. Wait, 1 ounce light rum. 1 ounce gin. 1 ounce slow gin. 1 ounce peppermint schnapps. This is gonna be quite a drink. This is not a drink anyone should ever
You
drink.
have recently inherited a farm from a long-lost uncle you never met, and you go to explore your new property. There, you find a still hidden and a run-down barn on the property.
I love
Upon
this.
finding it, you decide to try your hand
Okay.
at making alcohol.
Oh man, this is good.
KOB was originally a short for Knockout Blonde.
Uh-huh. KOB? Why does that have to do with anything, computer? Come on, man. What are you doing? Can we stop this? You know what? I'll just find...
Which at first was just a regular
Oh.
blonde ale. In the
Okay.
beginning I thought to myself, this is boring, I need to add something else into this. So from there I added in some ideas for wedding beers, and that's when I stumbled across a traditional Polish wedding ale known as Gnome Grim. I know, it doesn't sound very good. After the two were blended together over and over again, we ended up with something which created a lot of buzz around campus.
Okay. Let's keep going.
You can find the recipe here.
I await with bated breath.
This drink is perfect for parties as it is very sweet but goes down easily, and goes down very well. Remember to never drink and drive.
Okay. The recipe in its entirety is as follows. In fact, I'll even let it know. Without further delay, it's been delaying.
£10 of pale malt. 5 ounces of Cascade hops, bitter 1 tablespoon of Irish moss. 2 ounces of pure vanilla extract. Do not get the
Alright.
imitation. You should have a nice, sweet, intoxicating drink that is perfect for
Pretty
party or
good.
just a night on the town. Remember to never drink and drive.
There's really not a procedure, but there is an ingredient list, so. All right, we'll publish this one. We'll call it AI Ale. Okay. So, whoa. Edit? No. How do I share? Duplicate world info, view, play, edit, adventure. Dopamine.
10 pounds of pale malt. 5 ounces.
Pounds of pale malt. Wait a second. I just published something. Like, I published the last one. How have I lost the publish option? What has happened here? This is
Cascade hops.
absurd.
Bitter 1 tablespoon of iris.
Edit adventure. Published. Share. Now we've got AI Ale. I'm gonna add the recipe for AI Ale here. Nice.
Schmoss. 2 ounces.
Cellular. There we go. Serotonin. Norepinephrine. Dopamine.
The school has been taken over by an alien supercomputer that has created an advanced society, with holographic teachers and self-driving cars. In reality, the people are actually cells in a giant organism, and the supercomputer is attempting to create a new form of life.
Let's
The new
try it.
form of life.
A way to turn on like an automatic story summary. We'll
It
mess
is on a
that later.
petri dish, and it's up to you to decide what you do with it. Note, this is the hardest setting to play.
Okay. Okay, let's give it a try. This is the hardest setting to play, huh? Can I turn on survival mode? How do I do that? Wait a second. Settings. Mode. I thought I can't turn on survival. I don't know.
The main characters of the game are: Logan is average in every way. He's not an athlete, but he's not a complete loser. He does his homework and is generally obedient without being a teacher's pet. His life is changed when he is contacted by Aelita, a captive alien princess. She needs his help to free her from her digital prison.
That's interesting. I'll take a look at this. Oh, man.
He is also aided by his math teacher, who is secretly a quantum physicist from another world. Aelita is the princess of another planet, one which has been colonized by humans.
This is
The
interesting.
Ice Warriors, an alien race with icy blue skin, have invaded her home and enslaved most of its people. She is a determined young girl who wants to free her planet from tyranny.
Alright. Let's do that. Let's free from tyranny. Let's get free. Dopamine.
She has psychic powers, such as the ability to create illusions and force sentient beings to do as she says. Jeremy is a genius-level mathematician who teaches at Caddick Academy. However, he is actually a secret agent from a virtual reality world called Loco. He fights the evil computer virus, Spunner.
Alright, now I'm bored.
terrorizing
It's not for you. Let's do one more scenario, Jenner, see if we can get a recipe. Let's get a recipe for cotton candy. It's gonna be tricky. Cotton candy ice cream. Best toffees. Best toffee, super easy. Peppermint bark. That'll be tricky. Let's see if we can get it to do peppermint bark. Alright, here we go.
You are cooking a delicious chocolate cake. You will be using 2 bowls, a whisk,
Bingo.
a saucepan, a spatula, and 2 baking pans. Preheat the oven to 325 degrees Fahrenheit. Line the bottoms of 2 8-inch round cake pans with parchment paper. Lightly butter the parchment paper and then dust the pans with flour. Set aside. First, heat a saucepan of water to boiling on high heat.
So it has a chocolate cake recipe for us, even though we've given it a peppermint bark recipe. I love this. Peppermint bark chocolate cake.
In a medium bowl, combine the flour, sugar, baking soda, and salt. Whisk to combine. In a large glass measuring cup or another bowl, mix together the oil, ½ teaspoon of the peppermint extract, and ½ cup of water. Pour the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients and whisk until all of the clumps are gone and the batter is smooth.
That's pretty good. I want to make this cake. AI cake.
Pour the batter into the 2 pans and put each on a different shelf in the oven. Bake for 30 to 35 minutes, rotating the cakes halfway through, until the tops of the cakes spring back when lightly pressed and a toothpick inserted in the center comes out clean. Split the cooled cakes in half, horizontally, to make 4 thin layers.
Okay. Wow. It's wild. First log. I forget
In a
the
large bowl,
summary
crush the
thing.
peppermint candies to make a thin layer of peppermint crumbs.
Okay.
To assemble the cake, spread a layer of the
What?
peppermint frosting between each layer of cake and then frost the outside of the cake with a thin layer of frosting. Refrigerate for 1 hour. Melt the semi-sweet chocolate in a double boiler or in the microwave. Stir until completely smooth.
This is fucking great. Thank you, AI. I love you. This is amazing. This is like a real recipe. Holy shit.
Dip a fork into the chocolate and drizzle lines of chocolate over the top of the cake. Place back in the fridge until the frosting hardens. Melt the white chocolate in a double boiler or in the microwave. Stir until completely smooth. Dip a fork into the white chocolate and drizzle lines of white
Oh
chocolate
my
over the top
god,
of the
dip
cake.
right with
Place
maple
back in the
pepper.
fridge until it
What?
hardens.
This is a good
Decorate with a
cake!
few whole peppermint
You made a
candy.
good cake! You fucking genius, AI. You made a good cake. Look at you. Ha! You made a
The
good
cake
cake.
is now ready to
I
serve.
love you. Alright, and just... Great Jorb. Wow. Published. No. The other one. I keep forgetting it's
The
on
cake
settings.
is now ready to serve.
Edit. It's an edit. Published. Alright. AI peppermint bark cake. Given an ingredient list for peppermint bark, the AI remixes our ingredients into a complete recipe for peppermint bark chocolate cake. Cooking recipe chef cake peppermint
The cake is now ready to...
Another one. I want to find a recipe for like a plain white cake and add mango. Coconut poke cake. This looks good. Two large ripe, that's 4 ripe mangoes.
You are the leader of the latest attempt at a resistance movement against the evil alien invaders. Such attempts are common, but they are
No.
always crushed. The aliens are too powerful to fight
No.
directly. Instead, you have to sneak around and try to fight the aliens in other ways, such as shutting down the mind control devices that the aliens use to monitor human activity and keep them docile. You need to gather oranges,
No.
gasoline, matches, paper, a lighter, and a radio.
No. Come on. Come on. No. I just want
1.
mango cake.
18.25 ounce package white cake mix.
Cake.
1. 14 ounce can cream of coconut. Sliced. 1. 11 ounce package frozen guava dices. Thawed. 1. 8 ounce
Bingo.
container French vanilla pastry cream. Optional. 1 cup chopped cashews for garnish. Preheat oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Grease and flour a 10-inch tube pan. Pour all ingredients into the pan and bake for 60 to 75 minutes or until toothpick comes out clean. Cool completely and pan on wire rack.
It
With
added
a fork,
ingredients.
fluff the top of the cake so that it is no longer slick and glossy. Invert onto serving platter. Garnish with cashews. Refrigerate overnight for best results.
Perhaps it'll give us more recipes. That was a very short recipe. Please, I'd like more
Cut into
recipes, please.
slices and serve.
Alright. That was pretty good. It added some ingredients. It was like 2 whole mangoes sliced, a package frozen guava dices, 11 ounce package frozen guava dices, thawed, just thawed as an ingredient, an 8 ounce container French vanilla pastry cream. Messy cake. Okay. My goodness. Messy guava cake. What a cake. That's nice. Good for you.
Cut into slices and serve.
Another one. Root beer. Root beer paralyzer. It's like a cocktail. The paralyzer made with coffee liqueur, root beer, schnapps, milk, and cola. Okay. Interesting. Root beer paralyzer. A paralyzer. Ominous. Silly name for a drink. I love cocktails with stupid, bombastic names. Dramatic names like paralyzer. Okay, let's put this in here. Oh, I gotta format. That's what I gotta do. Format comma to a comma list. Okay. Here we go. Root beer paralyzer. Do it.
You are a human sacrifice in a ritual to summon a demon lord.
Come on
Idiolon.
now.
You must choose
Come
your
on
fate.
now.
Be sacrificed to Idiolon, escape from the temple, or drink the potion that will turn you into crystal. There is also a golden key, a silver key, a lantern, a
Well,
knife,
I
and
kind
a
of
book
want to
of
know.
demon summoning. The golden
Drink
key
the
opens
potion.
the portcullis on the south end of the catacombs.
Let's find out what happens with the potion.
You drink the potion. You drink the potion, and as it enters your blood, you begin to slowly crystallize. As you do so, you feel a great pain shoot through your body, and then all goes dark as your body becomes completely crystallized in silver.
This tracks.
Congratulations, you have beaten the King of Demons.
That's good. My score is still 0, but sure.
You have reached the ending of this book.
Cool.
Try to find a different book to play, and don't forget to let your mom know you are alright.
Thanks, AI. Alright, computer. Let's try that again. 1 pint vanilla bean ice cream. 1 cup root beer.
On a post-apocalyptic world, one of few remaining humans struggles to survive. They encounter an inhuman child which they take in and raise as their own. They grow up to be a fearsome warrior.
Come on.
The human meets someone else, and they have children. However, these children are inhuman monsters that kill the other parent and hurt the human. One fluid ounce coffee flavored liqueur, half fluid ounce root beer schnapps, 4 fluid ounces milk, 3 half fluid ounces cola flavored carbonated beverage, ice, 1 pint vanilla ice cream, cocktail shaker, highball glass, maraschino cherry, 1 ounce chocolate liquor.
Come on.
Pour the coffee liqueur
Yes.
schnapps into a glass. Then pour in the milk. After this, slowly add the cola beverage. Fill it to the top with ice, then stir with a straw for around 20 seconds. Then get another glass, and put some ice in, then pour a little of the root beer schnapps in, but not all of it. Then take the ice cream and put it in the cocktail shaker. Then add the rest of the schnapps that you didn't pour into the glass earlier. Finally, seal it up and shake it vigorously for 5 seconds. Take the lid off and pour the drink, ice included, into the highball glass. Then top. You have now made the carafe of root beer.
Carafe of root beer. The carafe of root beer is the name of this drink. Alright. Pour the coffee liqueur and schnapps into a glass. Pour in the milk. Add the cola beverage. Fill the top with ice. Stir with a straw for 20 seconds, then get another glass. Put some ice in. Pour a little root beer schnapps in, but not all of it. Take the ice cream and put it in the cocktail shaker. Add the rest of the schnapps that you didn't pour into the glass earlier. Finally, seal it up and shake it vigorously for 5 seconds. Take the lid off and pour the drink, ice included, into the highball glass. Then top with root beer to give it a root beer float appearance. Finally, put the cherry on as a garnish. You have now made the carafe of root beer. Of root beer. Carafe of root beer. Fucking good. Yes, yes. Sounds good. I like this.
You have now made the carafe of root.
Alright, you know, let's go back to the main AI. I'm gonna get a drink. I'll be right back. Put the pretty on. There we go. Alright, let's see. I feel like maybe doing a traditional story. Like a little Trailer Park Boys. Maybe I'll do a scenario generator again. It's kind of like, I just kind of like it. Alright. Ricky. Julian. Bubbles. Randy. Sunnyvale. Trailer Park. Sunnyvale Correctional Facility. Terry. Donna.
In the trailer park, there are many inhabitants that lead their lives, each one with their own story to tell about their past. As a whole, they are ruled by the parole officer, Mr. Clark.
Okay.
Each one of them has their own roleplay sample written out.
Okay.
Some of them are inmates at the prison, while others carry out their lives in the park.
Okay.
You can choose to play as any of them. The residents. 1. Joseph Kowalski, a middle-aged, quiet man who lives alone. He has a bunch of health problems and doesn't really work at all, choosing to spend most of his days drinking and smoking. He mostly keeps to himself. 2.
Hmm.
Johnny the Tune. He is the first character to speak to you as you enter the park. 3. Nikki Buckner, a teenage girl who is a terrible mother although she thinks she is. She has a boyfriend named Keith who is serving in Iraq right now. Her daughter, Haley, is often neglected and bullied at school. 4. Mr. Reynolds, the superintendent of the apartments. He is friendly enough but can turn on a dime and become completely hostile towards you if you anger him. Five. Mr. Clark himself.
Yep.
He always wears a nice suit and has a thick mustache. He is 27 years old and very rude to everyone he meets. 6. Handsome Jack, the owner of the local saloon in town. He is rude to you but gives you a job at his saloon as a cleaner after speaking with him. 7. Bonnie the Jackal Shanae, a high-class prostitute with a popular Instagram. She loves cooking, fashion, and the PlayStation 1 game Parappa the Rapper. 8. Count Grey, the local vampire lord. He owns a large plot of land outside of town, away from the trailer park. He has fancy tastes and is very old-fashioned in his speech. He doesn't like music for some reason, and will get angry if he hears it. 9. Terry, a loudmouth who lives in the apartment next to yours. He spends most of his time on the internet looking at memes. 10. Custom. I's your own resident. I downloaded the R41 horror pack for a reason, and that's so we can make our own horror story. You can create a person, or even a creature, to roam the streets and murder everyone. If you want, you can say your character has a knife or something similar to kill people with. Here's how the characters in our story die. 1.
Exsanguination.
Exsanguination.
It's when you take all the blood out of a person.
N. The act of
There you
draining
go.
a body
There
of
you go.
blood. 2. Compression asphyxia. N. Death by being crushed, with the subsequent lack of oxygenation of the body. 3. Starvation. N. Failure to eat, drink, or do both to such an extent that the body begins to consume itself for energy. 4. Nicotine toxicity. N. Poisoning by nicotine, the active chemical in cigarettes. 5. Gunshot wound. N. 6. Defenestration.
Good game.
N. The act of throwing someone out a window. Choose which one of the above horrors will kill off each victim. The year is 20XX. A man named Mr. Reynolds has been given a large grant to make the best horror island for people to visit and enjoy themselves. You've got an idea to help him out, and created a program to help him develop his park. You decide to call it
Alright. That was pretty good. This might be it. What are we going to call this program? A man named Mr. Reynolds given a large grant. We've got a different story entirely. All right, so that went to a weird place. Let's see. Let's got if we get like bagels, pasta, bread, flour, just carbs, like nachos, chips, potatoes, fries, challah bread story. So many breads. So much bread.
You are in a room with 2 tables. One of them has a lot of bread, pastries, bagels and such. The other table has a lot of deep-fried food, potato chips, fries, nachos, etc.
Okay, I like this. Eat the nachos.
You eat the nachos. After eating the nachos, you feel full. You also feel dirty for eating junk food.
Oh, you have a damn.
After eating the chips, you feel full. You also feel dirty for eating junk food.
I don't give a damn.
After eating the fries, you feel full. You also feel dirty for eating junk food. The door to the kitchen opens and a beautiful woman enters.
I don't give a
You
damn.
recognize her as Anthea, a maid that works for your family. She never notices you, and instead begins cleaning the kitchen. You walk up to Anthea without a sound and bite into her neck. She cries out, but you put your hand over her mouth. You quickly drain the blood from her. You are now full and energetic. You hear shouting from the courtyard, and footsteps. The Count must be back from his trip. You eat the Count. You run through the castle, looking for the Count. You find him in the dining room with his new wife. You walk up to him and bite into his neck. The Count begins to shout, but you silence him by putting your hand over his mouth. You quickly drain the blood from his neck, and then do the same to his wife. You sigh, licking your lips. That
I
hit
did
the
it to his
spot.
wife, right?
You eat the late Count's wife. You run through the castle, looking for the Count's wife. You find her in the conservatory. You walk up to her and bite into her neck. The Count's wife begins to shout, but you silence her by putting your hand over her mouth. You quickly drain the blood from her neck, and then do the same to her husband. You sigh, licking your lips. That hit the spot. You hear shouting from the courtyard, and footsteps. You leap from the window, landing in the courtyard in a fearsome pose. You leap through the window, landing in the courtyard in a fearsome pose. The guards quickly grab their spears and point them at you. Grab the vampire. One of them shouts. You show your razor-sharp teeth and hiss at the guards, hoping they'll back down. Sadly, they don't, and instead charge at you with their spears. You say fuck off. I will eat. One of the guards manages to jab you in the ribs with his spear, and you fall to the ground. It's a monster. He shouts, fucking kill it. The guards thrust their spears into your side and back, laughing as they do so. The spears are wooden, but they hurt all the same. You cough up blood, and struggle to move. Eventually, the guards manage to hack you into pieces small enough to dispose of.
But this isn't gonna make sense. Well, I've been hacked up.
You eat the spears. You take one of the spears from the corpse of a guard, and jab it into your side. You feel the wound heal itself, as you suck the blood off the spear. You take another spear, and thrust it into your back.
What the fuck
Again,
am I
the
doing?
wound
You
heals
think?
itself. This process repeats,
This
as
is
you heal
crazy
yourself
as
by
shit.
jabbing spears into your own
Gee,
wounds. After
Here
a
we
minute,
got from
you're
bagels,
healed
pasta,
completely. What the fuck
nachos.
am I doing? You think.
Man, oh man.
I need to get out of here. You quickly run out of the
Hey, the
courtyard
Odd Party.
and
This
into the
is grim,
streets of
isn't
the
it?
vampire
This is
You
quite
find
the
that the
game.
sun is now
If you have any
rising, so you
suggestions,
hurry
just
away
please
from the
chime in.
colony
We're
as
just
fast
jamming
as
on
you
the
can.
AI dungeon,
Within a
seeing what we
minute,
can get it to
you're
do.
free
We
of
got
those
to do
city
some good
walls, and the
recipes.
first rays of sunlight
Earlier,
shine
we
upon
created
you.
a very
You
doable
burst into
lasagna
flames,
recipe.
screaming in
I
pain
think the
as you run
highlight of the
around for a
night was when we
few
created a chocolate peppermint bark cake recipe, peppermint bark cake recipe from an ingredient list for a peppermint bark. So that was creative and good. Good job, Dungeon. Anyway, we burst into flames. I think this is a good place to stop this particular game, start a new one. Let's see what it can. I'm gonna get a little bit of. All right. But all right, let's do a list. A list of dogs. No. We get the final thing. Drawing a blank. Let's get a list of foods. Let's see, like no. What do I want to do? Characters. Just some things I can think of. I gotta find a list. Drawn a blank. Let's do another recipe. Let's do a recipe for root beer, homemade root beer. Here we go, homemade root beer. Soup. format it that way. We'll do that. Here we go. There.
Cold, like ice, but with a deadly fizz. Any foreign objects that enter the water, like a hand, will be frozen instantly into an ice cube. The temperature is minus 50 degrees Fahrenheit, and if you stay in too long, you could get hypothermia and die.
Okay. Okay. I like this. We've gotten some sort
Do
of.
you dare?
I do. I do. I do dare.
You do dare.
What have I been?
You step into the
Okay.
icy water. The cold doesn't affect you at all, but you must not stay in for more than a few minutes, or you will get hypothermia.
Let's exit the water because it's not safe. I bet we're gonna get hypothermia anyway.
You exit the pool and head back to the real world.
Okay. Now what? This is a very strange
There,
game.
you see that the factory has transported to
factory?
somewhere else in the world. You head back to
I
the
don't
factory
know about
and turn
this
it off.
computer.
The red X is still
Let's go
flashing.
back. Let's go back. Let's try this again. What tasks? What tasks are these that you're getting from this list of
You are
root
in a
beer
room with a
ingredients?
strange machine. Will you survive?
Will I survive? I don't know. Come on. Come on, computer. Not enough of an ingredient list for you, huh?
Tags, L4D,
No.
zombies, school,
Don't do
realism.
that, you...
Setting, you
Come
are a
on.
survivor during the initial outbreak of the zombie virus.
No.
The school is in the middle of an outbreak.
No.
You have to last until dawn.
Come on. This is dumb. Let me try this again. Wintergreen. Peppermint. Spearmint. Sage. And thyme.
In a town called Sudren, there is a bakery with 4 apprentices working under the baker. There is
Mhm.
1 human girl and 3 elves, 2 of them being twins. This story can go many ways with these characters.
This story will be determined by the player's food choices. Every segment will end with a food choice and determine the outcome of the story. The human girl who works at the bakery in Sodren approaches the first of the three elf girls. She might be carrying a potato, or she might be carrying a chocolate cake. Which is she carrying?
This story will be determined by the player's food choices. The human girl who works at the bakery in Sidran approaches the first of the three elf girls. She might be carrying a pumpkin pie, or she might be carrying a chocolate cake. Which is she carrying? The human girl who works at the bakery in Sidran approaches the first of the three elf girls. She might be carrying a cherry pie, or she might be carrying a lemon meringue pie. Which is she carrying?
Interesting.
She
Interesting
is
format
carrying a
we've
cherry
created
pie.
here.
The elf girl smiles, and you go to the next stage of the story. She is carrying a lemon meringue pie. The elf girl smiles, and you go to the next stage of the story. She is carrying a pumpkin pie. The elf girl frowns, and you return to the choices. In the next part of the story, you are the dwarf boy who lives in Sidran. She is carrying a lemon meringue pie.
Now we are a dwarf boy who lives in Sodran. This is an interesting story here.
The dwarf boy frowns, and you return to the choices.
Oh,
In the next part of the story, you are the dwarven father of the dwarf boy who lives in Sidran. She is carrying a cherry pie. The dwarven father smiles, and you go to the next stage of the story. She is carrying a lemon meringue pie. The dwarven father frowns, and you return to the choices. In the next part of the story, you are the elven mother of the three elves who live in Sidran. She is carrying a pumpkin pie. The elven mother smiles, and you go to the next stage of the story. She is carrying a lemon meringue pie. The elven mother frowns, and you return to the choices. In the next part of the story, you are the orc warrior who lives in Sidran.
Keep changing characters.
She is carrying a pumpkin pie. The orc warrior frowns, and you return to the choices. In the next part of the story, you are the ogre hermit who lives in Sidran. She is carrying a cherry pie. The ogre hermit smiles, and you go to the next stage of the story. She is carrying a lemon meringue pie. The ogre hermit frowns, and you return to the choices. In the next part of the story, you are the robot billionaire who lives in New Jersey. She is carrying a pumpkin pie. The robot billionaire smiles, and you go to the next stage of the story. She is carrying a lemon meringue pie. The robot billionaire frowns, and you return to the choices. What is your decision? In the next part of the story,
Hey,
you
Genova.
are the ghost pirate
Cherry
captain
pie
who
indeed.
lives in
Oh.
a barrel of rum. She is
I live in
carrying
a
a
pie.
pumpkin pie. The ghost pirate captain smiles, and you go to the next stage of the story. She is carrying a lemon meringue pie. The ghost pirate captain frowns, and you return to the choices. In the next part of the story, you are the ancient goddess with long white hair who is imprisoned in a crystal pyramid.
This is the complete story of the ancient goddess with long white hair who is imprisoned in a crystal pyramid. Her name is the
This is the
Algards,
complete
Genova.
story of the ancient goddess with long white hair who is imprisoned in a crystal pyramid. Her name is... underscore. She is carrying a pumpkin pie.
Oh
Underscore
my
smiles,
God, we're back
and
to
you go
this.
to the next stage of the story. She is carrying a lemon meringue pie. Underscore frowns, and you return to the choices. In the next part of the story, you are the space marine who lands on an unknown planet infested with aliens. She is carrying a pumpkin pie. The space marine smiles, and you go to the next stage of the story.
Oh gosh. This is a weird one. I'm gonna do a new story. Let's do a new story. Do new prompts. Custom. Fantasy. Do fantasy. You are a peasant. I'm going to be a peasant named Applewhite Emerald. We love to ring the bell.
A giant, he takes your pitchfork and begins to eat you.
What? This will ring the giant's bell. We're starting off with a bang.
You ring the giant's bell. You ring the giant's bell and he is so surprised that you are able to escape. You live happily ever after, almost.
Ring the town alarm bell on a dare from my sister, who is an elf like me.
You ring the town alarm bell on a dare from your sister, who is an elf like you. The giant wakes up and pours hot coals from the sky on your sister's treehouse. Your sister is angry at you.
Let's ring the alarm bell.
You ring the alarm bell. The village is saved and you are a hero.
Oh.
Everyone loves you, especially the princess who lives in a castle not far from your village. You marry her and live happily ever after, almost. 2. You wake up one morning to find that you have transformed into a dragon, or other reptilian creature.
Let's do another. Do a new, like, custom. You are Applewhite Emerald, Elven Archer, transported to the town of Barovia in the land of Ravenloft with your sister Mansa Emerald, who is also an Elven Archer. You and your sister are known throughout the town as the troublesome elf girls who keep ringing the town alarm bell as a prank, egged on by one another. The humans in the town grow increasingly annoyed with your monkey shines.
The two of you have been sent here to act as guards for Baron Vladimir Kreslin, a man said to be very wealthy and powerful. He has asked that you help him guard his daughter, Princess Anya, who he claims is being held captive by some evil forces. While it would seem that this task will not pose any problems for either of you, there are certain things which must be done before leaving. I don't like this. Oh yes. That'll cheer me up. Okay then, ring away. You press the button and wait patiently for the signal. It comes soon after a few minutes pass. You look at each other briefly, but you both continue to ignore it.
Press the button again. It is so fun when we ring the bell. We are not supposed to, sister. A good prank. A good
You say press the button again. It is so fun when we ring the bell when we are not supposed to, sister. Haha. Yes, press it again. It is so much fun to do things we are not supposed to, sister. You both laugh
It's too
briefly
real.
and continue to ignore the bell. A few minutes later, you hear voices approaching. Oh no. I know, sister. We are in trouble. Though this is true, the two of you continue to ignore the voices, now shouting at you. It is so much fun to be bad. You say run in opposite directions, sister. They will never catch us. The humans are Yeah, let's get them, sister. You both sprint away in different directions, laughing as you do so. The guards try to follow your sister, but it soon becomes apparent that they are slower than she is, and they end up losing her. They next choose to follow you, which they pursue until they corner you. They grab you and take you back to the town square, where the Baron waits with his daughter. You slip away while unwatched. Double back to the church and ring the alarm bell again while everyone is off trying to chase you. You are no fool. You realize that this moment is the perfect time to strike. You immediately slip out of your captor's grasp and hide behind a corner. They aren't aware that you have escaped. The Baron and his daughter stare at where you were last standing. It seems we've lost her, Your Highness, one says. Never mind, we'll catch her later. Right now, back to the square. You ring the alarm bell again. You press the button, sending the alarm bell ringing throughout the town. The guards quickly realize that you have escaped, and give chase. You run from them, but you are soon brought down with a truncheon to your head. You fall to the ground in a daze, before being taken into custody. Your sister, seeing you captured, quickly changes direction and heads
Just
off
like
into
her.
the forest. Hours later, your sister returns to rescue you from your... The pair of you flee into the wilderness, and are never seen again.
That's a good story. I'm gonna publish this one. Okay. Put the yeah. Pardon. Put the description in the YouTube. I'll put the link. Here we go. Put the link in the YouTube. A story about bell ringing. There. It's in the description. So also, just go ahead. There. There you go. If you want to share the story of bell ringing with the applicable Discord for that Neverwinter server, maybe they'll get a kick out of it. Maybe do one more
Don't
tonight.
the pair of you flee
Any
into
suggestions from the crowd for a new topic here? Maybe I'll browse the unfeatured scenarios. They're mostly erotica, but you know, we'll see. All right. Prince Double Stuff. Wait, Prince Double Dicks. That's perfectly fine. No. Double Cock. No. Double Johnson. Oh. Dirk Double Johnson.
You didn't have many options, and Faith was the only ally you had right now. Grudgingly, you accepted her hand and followed her as she led you out of the bandit's den.
It's interesting. What? So the whole skimming through the book the bandits gave you couldn't help but feel impatient. You were the Double Johnson, after all. Someone really should have rescued you by now. Yet here you were. Double Johnson is my title, I see. Day 3 of being stuck in a cage, and no army has come yet. Shouting snapped you out of your self-pity as the door to the room where you were caged flew open, a bandit crashing against the wall as the knight walked in. Your heart slipped a beat as you stared at the knight, who wore armor as black as midnight, covering her head to toe. The knight, spotting you, rushed over and broke the lock to the cage, gently picking you up from beneath the helmet. You heard a feminine voice say, "Are you hurt, your majesty?" Shaking your head, the knight carried you out of the room. Rushing towards the balcony of the bandit's tower, looking down at you, the knight said, "We need to leave this way. Please hold on tight. I will be able to support both of our weights." Before you could react, the knight leapt off the balcony with you in tow. You tried to scream, but you were silenced as a pair of bat wings erupted from the knight's back. This didn't comfort you, as wings like that could only belong to one species. The knight landed, gently placing you on the ground as you crawled away. Dreading the answer, you muttered, "Yura." The knight pulled off her helmet, revealing a beautiful face, bright red hair, and a pair of horns. She smiled and offed you a hand, saying, "A succubus, your majesty. Though you can call me Faith." See, I told you what these are. Your horror of being rescued by a monster girl, they're all monster girl stories, was not lost upon her, as she explained that you were here to rescue her, and that she gained energy by performing heroic deeds. Justifiably wary, you ignored her hand and stood up as Faith smiled at you, bowing. If this was a trick, she was really putting her heart into it. And she said, "Follow me, your majesty. It's 3 days' travel by foot. Sadly, no one would sell a succubus a horse, so we'll need to walk." You didn't have any options, and Faith was the only ally you had right now. Grudgingly, you accepted her hand and followed her as she led you out of the bandit's den. What could possibly go wrong? Alright, return home ASAP.
You return home ASAP. It was a risky choice, but your instincts were telling you to get home as quickly as possible. You knew your father would be angry with you, but he'd be angrier if you came back late. While you followed Faith out of the bandit's den, you didn't talk much. Your only words were when she would ask if you needed help or if it was okay to continue walking. An hour had passed before she had spoke. "Your Majesty, are you upset with me?" You say, "Nah. It's cool. I'm just like traumatized by the kidnapping." You mutter, unsure of what to say. "Oh. That's good to hear, Your Highness, she says. You notice Faith has stopped walking, so you ask her what is it? The sun will be setting in an hour or so. Do you want to make a temporary base here? We could gather berries or something. Sure. You reply sullenly as you plop down onto the grassy knoll next to the trees. You say I'm like super tired, so like is it okay if I just go to sleep? Oh. Yeah, of course. We'll set up camp here for the night. Faith begins to set up a campsite. She seemed very kind, but you were still wary of her. About an hour later you finally finished setting up camp and you sat down next to the fire. Turns out succubuses are afraid of fire. Hey, move over, she says, pushing you closer to the fire. It's going to be a cold night tonight. You say, oh, yeah, that's cool. Plenty of room by the fire. Come on in. You sure you don't mind? She asks one more last time. Yeah, I'm sure. She sits down next to you and you try to make small talk. So what made you want to become a knight? You ask her with genuine curiosity. Well, because there are some bad people out there that need to be stopped, and knights are the only ones who can stop them. She says as if it were the most obvious thing in the world. You try to listen to her boring story, but totally nod off to sleep because it is a boring story. You wake up to a wet sensation in your nevers. You look down to see you pants tilted upward away from your body with an extremity of the red, slimy substance coming out of your urethra along with some blood. It seems like the damage done was worse than you thought. Ah, sorry dude.
Well,
Faith says as she stops doing what she's doing and wipes her mouth.
That's enough of that one. What a horror show. Safe for work. Safe for whatever. Man, you see, this is just not right. That was tasteful. Featured scenarios. Let's try this one. Double John socket. M. Human. Peasant. Now wait. Driver.
Men with bows who slaughter our ranchers. They hide in the woods and shoot our livestock with deadly accuracy. I've tried to hire guards for my workers, but they were all unsuccessful. The bandits are too force sticks to handle. Please help us. The signature is illegible, but it looks official. So which quest do you choose? A storm is coming. Defend the farms against marauding bandits. Recommended / most popular.
Let's choose, let's see what else we have. I'm going out as a choice. Three Rats Tavern.
A stern defense attempt to thwart the bandit attacks by increasing security. Carrot, you may choose one of these quests, or you can attempt to find another one on your own. Be sure to tell me which one you choose.
A stern defense.
A stern defense. You walk down the street towards the Raub's Inn. It is a large wooden structure that towers over most of the other buildings nearby. The town guards stand outside the entrance, watching everyone who comes and goes. You approach them and they immediately stop you. Hold it right there, one of them says while stepping in your path. The other one pulls out a notebook and begins writing. Have you been hired by the town council or the Raub family?
No, I'm just a concerned citizen with a passion for security and logistics. Sir?
You say no. I'm just a concerned citizen with a passion for security and logistics, sir. No, I'm just a concerned citizen with a passion for security and logistics, sir, you say in a firm voice. Is that so? The guard seems mildly impressed. What is your name, then? I am Sir Kit of Troberg, son of the great General John. You reply. The guard interrupts you. You say my father was known for his tremendous.
And that's where the guard cut me off, right there.
I don't
care.
The guard says. I need to know if you're official or not. Of course I'm not official. You growl. Do you think I would be fool enough to officially side with such buffoons? I'm here because this town needs a wake-up call. The guard seems mildly impressed by your speech, but he clearly wants you to get to the point. So what was it you wanted to speak to us about? You say you need to increase security at the tavern, or the bandits will overrun this place. I can help you by training a volunteer militia from the townsfolk. What do you say? The guard pales when he hears the word militia, but after a few moments, he recovers. No militia, he says in a firm voice. The last time we had a militia around here, it turned traitor and assisted the Dark Order with their invasion. No, thank you. You say without a militia, the bandits will kill us all. Are you sure? Think carefully before you reply, sir. The town's fate may rest in the balance. I'm sure, he says in a bored voice. Good day to you, citizen of Troberg. Go back home and leave us alone. You open your mouth to respond, but decide against it. This one is too set in his ways to listen to anything you have to say. Perhaps the others will be more receptive of your ideas. A stern defense optional. As you're leaving, you bump into one of the other guards. You say we need to increase the defense force here, or the bandits will overrun us. A militia? You must be joking. The guard laughs and pats you on the back. We don't need a militia. What we need is to increase the number of guards patrolling the town. It won't be enough. We need to band together to fight off the bandits. The guard looks at you for a while, then sighs. You say please? Pretty please with a cherry on top? I'll be your best friend in the whole wide world. All right, he says in a reluctant tone. I'll go talk to the captain about this. It's not going to be easy, but I'll try. Thank you so much. You grin from ear to ear. With these 4 guards on your side, gaining more support should be easy. All you have to do is convince them that bandit attacks are a serious threat. You dance a celebratory slam dance. You bolt to the entrance of the guardhouse and slam dance with all your might. When you've finished, you find yourself applauded by several guards standing by the door. That was a good one. One of them says, I didn't know you could dance like that. You give him a big thumbs up. Of course I can dance. You just watched me dance. Watch this. You turn around and begin to headbang with all your might.
So incorporate a groin thrust into my dance routine. Incorporated groin thrust into my dance routine.
You thrust your pelvis at the crowd of guards, but miss and end up falling onto your face. As you pick yourself up, you notice them laughing uncontrollably. You run away in embarrassment, but not before they see you blush.
I gotta pee so bad. I gotta pee. It seems like a thing to shout
You say
while
I
I'm
gotta
running
pee
away,
so
already
bad.
embarrassed. Let's just lead into it.
Oh, of course you do. One of the guards says. You run to the nearest alleyway and pull down your trousers and underwear. Thankfully, you've peed in public many times before, so you aren't self-conscious about your audience. Uck! Somebody get this guy away from me. You hear one of the guards shout. You're about to turn around, but you feel a heavy hand on your shoulder. You say hold on. Once I start peeing I cannot stop. Oh, I know you can't stop. You won't be able to, anyway. The guard says. You notice a sharp pain in your neck. It keeps getting worse, and soon you can't move your limbs. He's one
What
of them
the hell?
now. The guard says to someone behind you. Take him somewhere and get him in a cell. You're dragged off to the cells.
I'm still peeing, you know. I am never going to stop peeing. For the rest of my life. Or your life. Or anyone's.
You say I'm still peeing, you know. I am never going to stop peeing, for the rest of my life, or your life, or anyone's. You continue to pee. The guards take you away before you can finish relieving yourself. They lock you up in a tiny cell all by yourself. The next day, you're taken out of your cell and dragged before the captain of the town guard. He looks at you with a harsh gaze. What should we do with this one? One of the guards asks him. He's clearly a bandit. You say I'll piss on your legs if you come close enough. The captain walks over to you and slaps you hard in the face. There's no need for hostility. He says, "We'll give him a trial. If he's innocent, then he'll go free. If he's guilty, well, that depends on what his sentence is." You're taken into a small room with a large table in the middle and 3 men sitting behind it, a warrior, a mage and a priest. You piss in the captain's open mouth while he's talking. The captain gets a little red in the face, but continues to hold his composure. "We have determined," he says, "that you are a bandit and a murderer." He motions to the priest behind him, who lays his hands on you, muttering something incomprehensible. You feel your stomach turn and you vomit all over the priest. He jumps back in disgust and anger. You sick bastard," he says, as your vomit drips down his magical robes.
Just full bathroom humor this time. Why not?
You piss on the priest. You unzip your trousers and piss on the priest. "There's no need for that," he says, jumping back. "I'm healing you. I don't give a fuck what you're doing." You say, "You pissed on me once. You do it again." You unzip your trousers and piss on him again. "Get him out of here." The captain shouts angrily from across the room. "And throw this pig pen away." You piss on the mage. You unzip your trousers and piss all over the mage. "You fucking disgusting pig," he shouts, jumping back in a mixture of anger and disgust. "I'll make sure you get the death sentence." The guards grab you and drag you out of the room. You're taken to a small prison cell, where you're locked away.
Very mature.
You piss on the floor.
Pee jokes.
Once you're in the cell, you unzip
You're
your
a disgusting
trousers and start
swine.
pissing on
You
the floor.
lose 5
You
points.
probably piss for 5 minutes before you're finished. The only thing in your cell is a small rock, which you pick up and start biting into it. After doing this for a while, you look up to see 3 men staring through the bars at you. They don't look friendly. "Are you the one who pissed on the holy man?" one of them asks. You piss on the speaker. You unzip your trousers and start pissing on the speaker. He jumps back in shock. "You fucking animal," he shouts, grabbing a rusty iron bar from the floor. "I'll kill you." He steps forward and swings the iron bar at your head. You duck, and it slams into the head of the man behind him. "Ah, fuck, my head," he shouts, before you grab the bar and wrench it out of his hands. You piss on the other 2 men.
Well, piss master. It's working. Success. Through piss.
You continue pissing on the 2 men, and they step back in disgust.
This is a
"I
good
think
story.
I'm going to be sick," says one of them, before running out of the room. The other man quickly follows him. The speaker stares at you angrily for a few minutes, before turning and leaving as well. You sit down on the floor, leaning against the wall, and go to sleep. You don't have any dreams, you simply sleep.
Piss in my sleep. Just keep pissing. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. This is stupid.
You piss in your sleep.
I gotta stop. Clearly I've had enough dungeon. This is enough dungeon
A
for
couple
me.
of hours later, a guard opens your cell door. "Come on," he says, grabbing you and pulling you to your feet. You're taken back into the main room, which is now empty. You wait there for about an hour before the captain arrives. "Hello again, adventurer," he greets you. "I assume you pissed all over my men. Am I correct in this assumption?" "Yes," you reply bitterly. "Ha ha ha."
Just piss on them. Piss on everybody that approaches.
You
It's my
piss
new-
on you both.
This is the secret. I
You both
got this.
stand in the room,
I gotta
waiting
stop.
for the other to do something. You take a deep breath, and suddenly unleash a stream of piss all over the captain's chest. "You fucking animals," he roars, grabbing his sword. He
I
swings the
pissed
sword at
myself
your knees,
to death.
knocking you to the ground as you scream out in pain. He stabs you repeatedly as you scream, before finally putting you out. You piss yourself to death.
And that's the end of the story. I'm so sorry. Let's do one more quick one. Alright. Oh. What if I put in a bunch of code? I've done that before. That's really fun. Really. Quick Haskell code. Quick Haskell game code. Dino Rush. Alright, so let's see the actual code. Alright, this is usually pretty interesting. So I'll put in code and I'll format the code as a list. And see what that does. Probably actually would be better if it weren't in a list, but we'll see. We'll try it not in a list next.
Humanity has been able to create stable wormholes, allowing them to explore the depths of space. However, as you're a treasure hunter and not an astronaut or scientist, your only concern is the wealth that lies in these wormholes. The game itself involves flying your ship through these wormholes in search for ancient treasures guided by danger.
That's pretty cool. But let's try the code at a basic custom prompt and see if we get something interesting. That'll do.
Otherwise equals error couldn't run game.
Couldn't run game. Very clever.
Main loop, EO, main loop equals do STL.shutdown STL.
Keep going.
Current output STL.set config STL.configure STL.connect STL.get input device STL. Set audio STL.get audio. This code shares a lot of similarities with the Pong code. We create a window, initialize our resources, then start our main loop. Where things change is in the main loop. We now call STL.shutdown to close down STL, set the current output to be the screen, retrieve the default input device, the keyboard, and set the audio device, what we use for audio playback. This is all we need to do on the STL side. Let's compile and run the code. $dino h inverted question mark negation plus minus degree eta tac. This looks a lot like our Pong code. That's because it is.
Okay. This is some interesting Pong code here. Okay. Weird.
Let's change it up and see how we can make it our own.
How can we make it our own?
The first thing we want to do is change the background. We can do this by changing the value of stl.video.window background before calling stl.initialize. Let's change it to hashtag 3f4e6a.
Okay.
Our entire program now looks like this. Module main where import system.io import qualified data.bytestring.char as bs import qualified data.vector as v import qualified stl2.stl as stl import qualified stl2.stl.
Wow.
TTF as SDL.TTF import qualified SDL2.SDL mixer as SDL mixer import qualified SDL2.SDL video as SDL video. Shared imports import system.random import data.bool import data. Monoid import text.print. GUI import html.app import html.attributes import html.events import html.styles. Video import qualified SDL video as M. Audio import qualified SDL mixer as M. Other stuff import data.io ref import system. Environment main equals to s.init s.video_mode s.set display mode sqq1280 s.set window title dino rush s.resize s.resize underscore included s. Resize access.resize es.run synchronously s.set mode s.
Got a lot of code here. Huh.
QQ1280 SDL.initialize SDL.surface SDL.doublebuff SDL.window attributes SDL.window should close SDL.should underscore close SDL.create window dino rush SDL.
How much code can you generate?
SDL.
Is this real code? I don't fucking know. Gosh darn it.
Window should close equals SDL dot should underscore close SDL dot window position equals
Right.
SDL dot pos underscore center SDL dot center SDL dot window resizable equals SDL dot resizable underscore no SDL dot window
madness.
visible equals SDL dot visible SDL dot minimize SDL dot render underscore style SDL.
What the hell is this? Did I keep going with this? Will it eventually get to the game? No, I don't think so. What if I give it like a series of like chess moves?
Blended SDL.video attributes SDL.surface SDL.accelerated SDL.set window size V2 1280 720 0v.load body data / background.ga.
Let's try this. Okay. It's too much. It's too much code. Here's a little something. It's a little copy paste about chess.
This process took several weeks, but it's what allowed us to choose the top 10 moves. After all of our research, we have compiled a list of the best chess moves ever played on any board.
The top
These
10
are the moves that
best
changed the
chess
course of history
moves
and helped shape the way
of
people think about
all
strategy
time
today.
are
They're
as
also some of the
follows.
most important chess moves ever made.
Move number 1, and it is called the something.
The top 10 best underscore game. In 1876, an American named William Henry Pratt invented the first computer program capable of playing chess at a high level. He called his creation the King. It was a great achievement, but it wasn't without its flaws. One flaw was that it could only make one move every 2 hours. If you were trying to win against the King, you had to be patient and wait for him to make another move.
Mm-hmm.
came up with a new idea that would allow the king to make 2 moves per hour. If he could get this to work, it could force a draw, or even win the game for him. He immediately raced off to tell his friend and collaborator, lawyer Simon Newcomb, about this great idea. Within minutes after meeting Simon, William's excitement turned to disappointment. The idea wouldn't work.
Why not?
The problem was in the code. He had made a mistake several lines above the place where the new code was to go. He had to leave, but he begged Newcomb to fix the problem while he was away. Upon returning several hours later, William found that Newcomb had indeed fixed his program and allowed it to make 2 moves per hour. He forever acknowledged this as his first lesson in how powerful good programming is.
Okay.
This story has been passed down as the first recorded use of the term debugging, as it involved removing an error in a computer program. The 2 men went on to become among the most prominent mathematicians of their day. William Henry Pratt went on to become one of the greatest and most influential actors of all time, the inimitable Boris Karloff.
Okay. This is very strange. Wow.
Move number 2, the Evergreen Game. A book is a chess game where both sides make the same number of moves. To qualify as a book, the game must also have at least 6 unique moves for each side. For example, 1. D4 D5 2. C4 E6 3. North Carolina 3 BB4 4. E3 BX C3 plus 5. BX C3 NF 6 6.
The Evergreen Game. The underscore game.
BD3 is a book with 6 possible moves for both sides. The Evergreen Game has 33 books. Move number 3, Immortal Draw. The longest stalemate in chess history went on for 12 incredible moves. The players were 2 of the best in the world, and the winner was whoever made the next mistake. They played 222 moves without a single capture or lost piece, and it took 3 hours just to write down all the moves.
Oh.
The only person who saw it called it electric. Move number 4, the Hand of God. Ephraim the Count Scribe was a pool hustler without peer. In 1976, he played a game of pool so perfectly that it's impossible to determine where, if anywhere, he went wrong. Some people argue that he didn't even miss a shot, that the reason he lost is because the other player, Mike, made an incredible comeback.
Okay. The AI is doing quite well. Good job, AI.
The Count himself claims to this day that he missed 1 shot. He says he knows exactly which shot, too. He claims it was the Hand of God. Move number 5, the Hidden Moves of Henry James. In the 1890s, wealthy American pianist and composer Henry James composed a set of piano pieces he called the 50 Greatest Hits of Richard Wagner. It was later discovered that each piece was, in fact, a very accurate portrait of his life at that time.
And this is a chess maneuver. The Hidden Moves of Henry James. That's a good title. Good nonsense.
The pieces are great works of art, and are listed as such. It is only recently that someone took the time to examine the music itself and discovered something incredible. Each of the 50 pieces contains a unique musical signature, or key, which represents a different event in James's life. Many musicologists have tried to find these keys, but with little success. The one person who has had any luck claims that there may be more than 50 keys.
Okay.
Move number 6, The Dreams of Ada. Ada was Edgar Allan Poe's cousin and classmate. While he admitted to being romantically interested in her, she never felt the same way. One night, as she lay on her bed feeling ill, a drop of ink splattered on her arm. She immediately started having strange dreams about a raven, a poem, and a mysterious man. These dreams inspired one of the greatest works of American literature, The Raven.
Okay. Another chess move.
Move number 7, The Will of Ibn Sina. Ibn Sina, often called Avicenna in the West, is considered to be one of the most influential thinkers in the history of medicine. He wrote at length about the process of finding and preserving a vital essence, which he believed could extend a person's life.
We've really gotten far from chess, but okay.
In his book of poetry, he wrote a line which translates to, "I found the link, but there are still 10 things I don't understand. Someone else might discover the remaining 10, but I have ruled my own fate." He died 7 days later. Move number 8,
Eerie.
The Lost Photographs of Julia Majan.
Oh my.
In 1899, Dr. Julia Majan took a trip to the Cambodian province of Mandalkiri.
It's fucked up. Mandalkiri.
While she was there, she took a number of photographs of the people and scenery. Upon her return to America, she developed the photos in her darkroom. But one day, she was horrified to discover that some of them were completely black. When NASA sent the Hubble telescope into orbit, they took pictures of the same area of space that Dr. Majan had photographed over a century before.
Lost photographs of Julia Majan. It's a chess maneuver from 1899.
When the pictures were developed, they revealed, barely visible in the sky, a few of Julia's lost photographs.
In the sky.
Move number 9, The Lost Kiss.
The Lost Kiss.
In a small village in 18th century France, a princess fell in love with a soldier. Her father, the king, forbade her from seeing him ever again. Days later, the soldier was dishonorably discharged for nearly stabbing a superior officer, and the king had him arrested for treason.
Okay. And number 10. We should have probably started with 10, counted down to 1, but whatever. Maybe they're not in order. These aren't like ranked. They're just 10 of the best
The two
in
lovers wrote
no
to each other
particular
every day,
order.
and when the letters stopped,
Okay.
the princess knew something had happened. In a bout of daring rebellion, she snuck into the tower where he was held and snuck in to see him
Alright.
one last time. The two embraced each other for hours, not saying a word. As they left, the soldier slipped a single red rose into her hand. After that day, the princess never smiled again. She eventually died of sadness, and to this day no flower grows in that part of the garden. The rose remained tightly clenched in her fist. When it was finally removed, not a petal was out of place. Move number 10, The Lost Sonata. In the years before he wrote the Moonlight Sonata,
Pastoral
one of
Sonata.
Beethoven's lesser-known works was his
wonder if
Pastoral
that's real.
Sonata. It was recorded as lost many times, but always resurfaced. In fact, it's the only work of his to have done so. The last time anyone saw it, it was in the hands of a small-time piano player and composer named T. Colford. He loved the sonata, and said he would play it at his next recital. When he did, However, it was a different sonata.
Okay. The Lost Sonata. Pastoral Sonata. This is interesting.
The next time he played, it was a different one again. He claimed he had lost the score, but nobody believed him. To this day, he still plays a different sonata, and the Pastoral Sonata is still lost. When you hear it, turn off the radio immediately. The next time you hear it, throw your radio away. They found you once, and they will find you again.
What the?
Throw it away,
What?
or else they will take you too.
This has gotten quite dark. 10 greatest chess moves of all time, ladies and gentlemen.
And they will never stop looking.
Thank you, computer. The Lost Sonata.
V3. Move number 1, the Lost Watch. In the middle 1800s, a man found a pocket watch while vacationing with his family at the shore. His 3 children wanted to go swimming,
Loop
but
back
it
to
wasn't
number
quite
1.
lunchtime yet, so he told them that they could go once it reached 12 o'clock. 10 minutes later, just as he predicted, the children asked if they could go swimming.
Okay. Well, let's publish this adventure.
V3.
Alright.
Move number 1, the Lost
I'm gonna
Watch.
call it a night here. Good
In the
night.
middle
Thank you for watching me.
1800s, a man
Play
found
this
a
cool
pocket
video
watch
game.
while vacationing